we've come across evidence that shows that even her own representatives knew that she was threatening and mean and tough and wanted to get her way. This is not something that we wanted out there. It's not something that Justin wanted out there. In fact, it hurts the movie. It doesn't help the movie.
Hollywood is at it again, where losing gracefully isn't an option and doubling down is practically a competitive sport. At the center of today's fiasco is Blake Lively, who instead of simply weathering the storm elected to go full throttle into damage control mode. Because why concede loss when you can get a gag order and keep the drama alive? It all started with a sizzling love flick that, let's be honest, no one was really yearning for. Enter Justin Baldoni, co-star, director, and now the unlucky centerpiece of a $400 million loss claim. A leaked behind-the-scenes clip of their supposed intimate dance moment has not only lit the internet ablaze, but also spurred Blake's legal team to fight back with more flair than the movie itself ever had. But here's the kicker. This isn't your regular Hollywood drama over artistic disputes. No, this is a masterclass in public relations gymnastics, with Blake's group spinning narratives faster than a tabloid headline generator. And if you think this couldn't get messier, oh, Hollywood never disappoints. Buckle up, because this is only the beginning.
And that what in fact happened was Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress in it, and used threats and coercion and bullying to do it. And to the point where this guy was in the basement at his own movie's premiere.
The leaked footage that prompted all the excitement is nothing short of underwhelming. A brief footage from what was supposed to be a romantic love session instead revealed Blake Lively's apparent uneasiness and Justin Baldoni's reported attempts to get her into the mood. But let's not sugarcoat it. What the video clearly emphasized was Blake's total inability to stay in character. Instead of chemistry, viewers got uncomfortable jokes, forced laughs, and the kind of tension that was so thick it could be cut with a butter knife. Blake's legal team, however, saw this as the perfect moment to twist the narrative. Their response? Filing a gag order against Baldoni's lawyer. Yes, you heard that right. Because when you can't succeed in the court of public opinion, why not? Silence the other side? The defense team contended that the recording was being utilized to poison the jury pool. But let's be real here. Was there any pool left untarnished after this leak? And here's the odd part. While Blake's crew believes that the clip shows Baldoni violating professional limits, anyone with functioning eyes can tell that it's just two actors stumbling their way through an already difficult situation. There's no dramatic behavior, merely a number of persons filmed in a less than perfect moment. But according to Blake's team, Baldoni's so-called inappropriate behavior included leaning in, touching her lip with his thumb, and, wait for it, telling her that she smelt lovely. Scandalous, right? Because nothing screams Hollywood villain. Quite like personal cleanliness and moderate public expressions of devotion. In the end, this entire event might have done more to harm Blake's public image than anything else, and all over a recording that most would have shrugged off.
My favorite part of what I've read of this suit so far is that Blake Lively did not even read the book that the movie was based on.
Correct.
And we're not talking War and Peace. This is a book that's probably written at a second grade reading level.
Yeah.
Blake has refused to take the L, and her unbothered demeanor doesn't end with gag orders and finger pointing. Oh no, she's also managed to add a huge dose of hypocrisy into the mix. In a recent interview, Blake admitted that she couldn't relate to her character's experiences in the film, claiming she's never faced anything like comparable. Sounds innocent enough, right? But here's the twist. Her legal team's statement paints an entirely different picture, alleging that her co-star's conduct made her noticeably uncomfortable. So, which is it, Blake? Are you the unbothered actress who's never had to deal with anything like this, or are you the victim brazenly managing workplace discomfort? Because from where we're sitting, it seems like someone's trying to have it both ways, and that's causing a whole lot of uncertainty. But hey, that's Hollywood for you, where consistency is optional and drama is vital. And speaking of inconsistencies, let's talk about Blake's so-called sense of humor. According to her, she creates jokes to cope with awkward or tough situations. Sure, that can sound appropriate to many, but when you dig a little farther, things take a turn. Her idea of comedy apparently includes disparaging her co-star's nose and even proposing that he needs a break to have a nose job. Now, we all know humor may sometimes be a defense mechanism, but when it crosses the line into cruel, it's hard to maintain defending it as just a joke. In the end, Blake's actions seem to create a picture of someone who is trying to reconcile her public image with the reality of the situation, all while maintaining one step ahead of the media and public scrutiny. Is it working? That's for you to decide.
I feel so nosy.
I know. And my nose is so big.
I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that. And then,
Cut.
just kidding.
Of course, She Only Kidding followed it up with the customary Hollywood disclaimer, just kidding. Because nothing screams authenticity like making someone the butt of a joke and then backpedaling when it lands poorly. It's almost like a reflex. At this point, admit the uncomfortable, laugh it off, and pretend everything's good. But here's the thing. Blake's comedy wasn't merely terrible, it was disruptive. In the release tape, she's seen continuously breaking character, laughing awkwardly, and refocusing the circumstance in an effort to prevent any moments of closeness. Meanwhile, Baldoni, bless his heart, tried his best to rescue the situation, only to wind up being erroneously portrayed as the evil guy. It's as if she's rewriting the code for on-set professionalism right in front of everyone, one awkward chuckle at a time. You would think that a seasoned professional would know how to manage such a predicament. However, Blake's behavior raised eyebrows. And if you thought the legal drama ceased with the gag order, think again. Blake's group isn't just playing defense. They're going on the offense, casting Boney as everything short of Hollywood's next supervillain. Their statement accuses him of being out of character during the sequence, as though maintaining in character is straightforward when your co-star keeps cracking bad jokes and treating a romantic moment like an open mic night at a comedy club. What is an actor supposed to do when the person they're working with can't stop chuckling in the middle of an emotionally dramatic scene? But here's the real kicker. The gag order isn't just about silencing Boney's lawyer. It's about controlling the story. Blake's team recognizes that the more the public sees of this tape, the difficult it will be to portray her as the victim. After all, in the court of public opinion, perception is everything. This is one Hollywood production they can't entirely script or control, and no matter how much they try to move the public's attention away from the underlying issue, the truth keeps creeping through the cracks. And then there's the broader hypocrisy of it all. Blake's camp is now calling Baldoni's behavior disgusting and even drawing similarities to workplace harassment, while she's on record admitting she felt fortunate to have never encountered anything like her character's issues. So which is it? Is she a courageous actress who just misconstrued the circumstances, or a victim of a notoriously awful work environment? Hollywood loves to play both sides of the coin, depending on what sells better and what narrative will grab more attention. Let's not forget the cherry on top. The released clip shows Blake stepping away from Belden and asking that the two merely speak instead than expressing intimacy, a daring option, especially given she signed up for a role in a romantic flick. But hey, why stick to the script when you can just rewrite it on the spot? It appears like Blake was set on doing things her own, regardless of what the script suggested. The irony of this whole situation is that her reticence to portray the scene as planned is the same thing that makes Baldoni's attempts seem weird in the first place. And yet, curiously, he's the one absorbing all the heat. Classic Hollywood, where blame is just another prop in the drama, and no one really knows who the villain is, but for the one they choose to frame as such.
I'm a man, and this is a story that is told through the lens of a woman. And especially when it relates to intimacy scenes and to scenes where there is a mix of intimacy and violence, I wanted to make sure that those scenes had a female gaze. As much as I can try to see the world as a woman, I never will be able to.
But wait, the fallout? It gets better, or worse, depending on your tolerance for Hollywood craziness. The fallout from this fiasco has spread beyond Blake and Baldoni, bringing in intimacy coordinators, legal teams, and anybody remotely connected with the production. Intimacy coordinators, the unsung saints of modern filmmaking, have supposedly been shunning this production like it's cursed. 4 coordinators either dropped out or ghosted the production entirely, which raises the question, What is going on behind the scenes that's driving people off faster than a Bowie horror flick? And let's not overlook the mounting concerns in Hollywood that this lawsuit could create a dangerous precedent. If directors may be sued for doing exactly what's in the screenplay, how long until filmmakers start sticking to car chases and explosions, purely to avoid lawsuits? The whole industry may develop into one lengthy action sequence merely to evade the minefield of inappropriate behavior charges. But perhaps the ultimate lesson here is the glaring dishonesty that characterizes Hollywood. Blake's legal team has depicted her as a wounded lady valiantly standing up to an overstepping director, while simultaneously presenting statements that contradict her own remarks and interviews. Baldoni, on the other hand, has been chastised for trying to salvage a scene with an actress who manifestly refused to comply. It's a lose-lose situation wrapped in the kind of drama only Hollywood could script. So what have we learned? Well, if you're in Hollywood, the only rule that matters is this: never let the truth stand in the way of a good scandal. Blake Lively might be doubling down, but the internet has already made up its mind. And let's face it, no gag order can stop the world from pointing out the evident contradictions in her tale.
And that what in fact happened was Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress in it, and used threats and coercion and bullying to do it. And to the point where this guy was in the basement at his own movie's premiere.
In the end, Blake Lively's handling of this entire circumstance feels like a masterclass in Hollywood damage control. Deny, deflect, and double down. From gag orders to inconsistent announcements, her team has pulled every tactic in the PR playbook to keep this problem from getting deeper out of hand. But here's the thing about Hollywood scandals. The harder you strive to clean them up, the worse the mess seems to get. As for Justin Baldoni, he's left in a strange position. Trying to direct a movie with an actress who plainly decided to rewrite the rules mid-scene must have been hard enough, but now he's the scapegoat for everything that went wrong. It's a terrific example of how quickly Hollywood turns on its own when the plot becomes unpleasant. The poor guy probably just wanted to make a romantic film. Instead, he's entangled in a lawsuit that's more dramatic than anything on screen. So what's next? Well, if Hollywood's past is anything to go by, this drama will simmer down eventually, only to be replaced with another similarly ludicrous scandal. Blake will likely bounce back with another role, Baldoni will keep directing, and the rest of us will be left wondering how an industry so focused with storytelling can never seem to get its own tail straight. But until then, we'll be here, watching the catastrophe unfold one exaggerated headline at a time. And if this drama has taught us anything, it's that Hollywood is the gift that keeps on giving, whether we want it to or not. And now we want to hear from you. What do you think of this whole Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni saga? Is Hollywood being its typical hypocritical self, or is there something else going on? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to press subscribe for more deep dives into the odd world of Hollywood disputes. All right, show's over. Hungry for more twists? You know where to find us. Keep that popcorn hot. We'll handle the drama. Want to catch the next showdown in real time? Hit subscribe and buckle up.